Phat Airlines takes the stage where we were, streaming high in the virtual air. World of airports, the game is live. He's landing planes with a vibe so fly. Phat Airlines soar in the skies, stream in the hustle, watch the views rise. Pilots and planes, oh man, it's insane. Twitch and YouTube growing his name. From tarmac dreams to handles tight, every touchdown a perfect flight. He's a runway king, streak out the fog. Game so smooth, they call it airlock. Phat Airlines, soaring the skies, stream in the hustle, watch the views rise. Pilots and planes, oh man, it's insane. Twitch and YouTube growing his name. Chatting with the fans, call signs loud. Leader of the fleet, yeah, he makes us proud. Pushing content like a jumbo's thrust. In Phat Airlines we trust. Pin the radar, he's live again. Communities tight like aviation. Friends like skyrocket, engine scream. Phat Airlines living in a stream. Takes the stage with fair lore, streaming high in the virtual air. World of airports, the game is live. He's landing planes with a vibe so ho. And growing his name. Chatting with the fans, call signs loud. Leader of the fleet, yeah, he makes us proud. Pushing content like a jumbo's thrust. In Phat Airlines we trust. Ping the radar, he's live again. Communities tight like aviation. Friends like skyrocket, engine scream. Phat Airlines living in a stream.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Jeremy. I'm Phat Airlines, and it is a night stream today. I'm thankful that all you guys are here. Night streams are usually not announced, and I've been talking about doing night streams for a while. And my wife, she was like, "Why don't you stream at night?" So I was like, "Oh, that's permission right there." So I told her tonight, like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and stream tonight. Otherwise I was just gonna like play Destiny or do some work. But I was like, you know what, I haven't played World of Airports in a while. I've been slacking on my main game, and I know a lot of people have been asking me to play Innsbruck, to go back to Bari. Prague is an airport we're playing. We don't have Washington, we don't have Nagoya. Nobody's been asking me to go back to San Diego though, so we'll see. We got to go to Muscat eventually too. And tonight we're also going to go to LHR. So tonight we're going to go to Innsbruck and we're going to go to LHR. LHR mainly because, look at this, we are okay, we're actually 2 levels away. I thought we were 1 level away, but we're 2 levels away. But like this next level, level 80, is like 100 XP away. Like that's really close with the amount of planes that I have. So maybe on Saturday, or if we do another night stream this week, maybe we can get that unlocked. But I know a few people have been asking me to play some Innsbruck, so we got some levels here at Innsbruck to get to, get to complete as well, right? So we get like 5,000 silver planes at level 35, another 5,000 at level 41. It's gonna be a while before we get to 43, but we'll play some Innsbruck. I'll talk about some Innsbruck strategies in 3.0 because we haven't really played Innsbruck at all in the 3.0 time, right? So everything's different now, where you got different stand sizes. I mean, look at this. I don't even have the D stand unlocked here. But I'm gonna say what's up to all you guys while I'm scheduling some planes to land as well. So and then we'll talk about strategies and we'll go forward. But yo, Dinju, thanks for being first, man. Rick Rashid, what's up? Adam Cack, I'm surprised you're here. Thanks for being here too. Hidden was about to go to sleep and now he's here. Shouty, it's 11 a.m. for you. Nice. It's 9 p.m. over here for me. And it's 3 a.m. for Adam Cack. Dang. Yo, Rick Rashid has Leipzig open with 25 stands available. Nice. Chill Tony's here. What's up, Chill Tony? Yo, guys, by the way, if you're watching me on YouTube, like, you should follow me on Twitch. Like, for real. Even if you're watching after the fact. Like, as of right now, I'm at 998 followers on Twitch. So, 2 more followers and we're at 1,000. That's pretty exciting. So yeah, follow me on Twitch, guys. But you can watch me wherever you want. I'm just trying to get to that 1K. You know what I'm saying? Didn't you say it's been a long time since Phat played in? You right, man. It is a different airport, I would say. Alright, so what we got here? I don't even, is it even worth me putting in my tower managers at this airport? I'm not even sure. I don't think so. But look at all these planes we have to push back. We got an E-170 waiting to land. Oh, look at all these planes. Oh my gosh. So many planes to push back. And the only planes we have waiting to land are ones that are almost complete. Oh, look at this. This contract with Voitondo is at 9 out of 10. I know we have to buy the D stand so we can get some 752s landed, but I just couldn't help myself. When we have a plane that's at 9 out of 10, we gotta get that land. What's up, airplane fan? Go ahead and ask your question. I am 4 minutes behind in chat right now, so I'll get to it. How are the kiddos? What's up, TJ? Baby girl, I think she just woke up. But she was sleeping at 8:30, which is 30 minutes ago. And now I'm watching the baby camera in case I need to get up and watch, end the stream or something. Help out my wife. But the baby girl is doing fine. And the boy, my son, he's doing all right too. He went to bed early today. He was tired. He had a long day. What's up, Carter Mitch? What username should I send some plane contracts to? It's a great question, man. And thanks for sending me planes. So I think you are on Twitch. So on Twitch, you can always send contracts to my you have the option to send contracts to my primary, or sorry. On Twitch, you have the option to send me contracts to my stream only account. Now, my stream only account is the one that we're playing right now. It's Phat Empire. But you do have to buy the contract. And it's for free. But you pay with something called Phat Coins. And it's something available on Twitch. You get Phat Coins by watching the stream, by being here, by following, by subscribing, all those things. And pretty much we do that way. People who are here on stream, they're going to also get more points. Therefore, you're going to be able to get more contracts, right? It's a win-win situation. Sorry for you guys on YouTube. YouTube doesn't have that kind of a point system where I can give rewards yet. It does look like they're working on it though. Otherwise, but I would not recommend anybody sign up to send me planes to my Innsbruck. I don't really play this airport anymore. But everybody is more than welcome to send me planes to my main account. My main account is the Phat Rican, THEPHATRICAN. And on the Phat Rican, my main account, we have a few airports that we play every single day. We play LHR. I try to play that. I play that every single day. I play IAD, Washington. I play that every single day. I play BKK. Although BKK has been kind of lacking, you know, I have like 500 contracts, but I only get like 100 contracts back a day. So I'm not sure if a BKK is going to be a daily airport for much longer. But BKK is currently a daily airport, and then SCL, also a daily airport. Even though I didn't play SCL today, I was kind of busy. I had to do so many chores today. I guess they were chores, but they weren't like bad. I had so many things I had to do today. So yeah, always send me, you know, contracts to my main account. There's no problem. It's for free. I have plenty of contract capacity. I always buy contract capacity with silver planes on that account. Happy Monday. What's up, TK? What's up, Raptor? What's up, airplane fan? Should you go for the 744 to A388? Ooh, that's a good question, man. You know, both are like discounted, right? Like they're not like totally expensive, and to buy. I would probably go with the. That's tough, man. That's tough. I was gonna say A388, but then I paused because the A388. You do have to buy an F stand, right? So now when it comes to like unlocking stands, you have to buy all of the sizes underneath it, right? So you can, if you unlock the 744, you can start using it a lot sooner than you could with the A388. I mean, you also got the price difference too, right? The A388 is like what, $430,000, so that's super expensive. So I would probably go with the 744 first, mainly because it's going to be easier to like start using right away. That'll be my main motivation for recommending it. All right, so here we go, right? So in World of Airports 3.0, they updated the game where essentially now you have a D gate here in Innsbruck. And this is a combined stand. So a combined stand, it means that you can use a passenger or a cargo. They also, I think, yeah, they made stand 101, which 101 used to only be a B plane, like a small plane. Now it's a combined stand for both passengers and cargo up to C size as well. Then you start to get into the other stands, which are all passenger stands. So this is pretty cool because that means you can handle 2 cargo planes at once at Innsbruck, but you need to be careful when you're handling 2 cargo planes at once because we got to look at the equipment, right? Okay, you can actually purchase 2 cargo equipment. So that was my concern originally. I thought there wasn't going to be 2 cargo, but there are. So no concerns there. You can handle all the planes at once. So what I'm going to do here is I clicked the wrong button. I'm going to go and unlock the C stands over here for the empty stands, the stands that are not occupied. That way we can queue up some C planes to land as well. We're going to try to do player planes. Actually, I did a lot of event planes because every Saturday when we play, or every day that we play, we log into the airports that have event planes, and we just accept the event planes. We go right here to contracts and we accept the contract. We don't actually play the airport, but the event planes will stay there waiting for me to accept them. Same thing here with the random player arrival and this regular contract. I usually accept those too. So we got a lot of player contracts that are at like 0 out of 1, which is not a problem. Not a problem. Raptor X EXRR is playing GRU. Nice. It's 2 a.m. Oh my gosh. We need to see a D plane land. Yeah. Let's do it. What's up, Charween Sarana? Just started Bangkok Airport. Nice. So I haven't really played Bangkok Airport in the 3.0 time. You know, 3.0 really changed a lot of like the strategies because, you know, you have to unlock all the stands sizes that are smaller in order to activate the larger one, right? So if you're getting F, you have to buy A, B, C, D, and E, all just so you can unlock F. You can do it all at once, or you can do it a little bit at a time, but you have to do it, right? So that makes it a little bit complicated. But I think overall, my strategy for most airports has been going into the airport and unlocking A stands as fast as possible. Even though there's not that many actually there's only one A plane in the game, but I'm unlocking those A stands not because I want to handle A planes, but it's because I want contract capacity and I want handling crew, right? So when you have contract capacity and you have handling crew, contract capacity means you can accept more contracts, right? So you can get more planes coming in, whether that's from other players or if you're redeeming planes from your premium pass that you have like waiting there that you can add into your fleet, or if it's just or just map contracts or local contracts, whatever you're rolling for those random rolls, right? You can handle more planes, right? You can get more planes at once. And the handling crew is going to be super important, especially in those early levels, because you're so limited. Now you still need to kind of rush to get like a D or an E stand, because those E planes, some of those D planes and those E planes are going to really give you the most amount of wallers for each of your for each handling. So that's your best bet, in my opinion, is to get those to get as many stands unlocked as possible at the A level, but also try to get an E plane as soon as possible too, because that E plane is really going to get you like thousands of wallers, 1,000 to 2,000 wallers every single handling, which is enough to unlock another A stand, which then you can buy another, or get another player contract. That's a what's it called? That's an E plane, Mike's playing UATC, nice. Okay, we're at 999 followers on Twitch. Shout out to Carter Mitch and it's Namix. Thank you for the follows, guys. How long is this stream? Probably about 2 hours. Because then I gotta start winding down, get ready for bed, and it might get interrupted. It might get cut short depending upon if my wife needs my help with the baby. Then I'm gonna, I'm gonna prioritize the wife. Sorry, guys. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. Oh, I need to make sure we get planes landed. I'm like, see, that's the main reason why I would want to have the tower manager on, because I keep getting distracted by reading chat and I forget about the game, and then planes aren't landing or planes aren't taking off. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna make sure the next plane takes off. Yo, what's up, MK Specialist? You got IAD about an hour after your last stream ended. Nice. IAD is such a solid airport, bro. You're right about being a unique and a big step up from Prague. I'm having fun with it right now. Let's go. Yeah, you definitely like that middle terminal, and IAD is pretty cool too, because the large stands, like the D, E, and F stands that are for passengers at Washington, those D, E, and F stands, you don't have to buy A, B, or C, right? So they're actually a little bit cheaper to unlock, because you have to unlock all the available sizes that are below it. But if A, B, and C planes are not permitted to park there, then you don't have to buy A, B, or C. Yes, those are the cheapest three to unlock, but you're still saving money, right? So that's pretty nice. And don't forget, there are actually two other stands, and I can't show you because I'm on this account, my stream account, but there are two other stands that are like in the R section. There's R14 and R15 that could also handle E planes. So don't forget about those two stands too. Bro, you look tired. Yeah, man, it's 9 p.m. I started, today I did a lot of stuff. I woke up at like 7 a.m. and I didn't want to wake up, but the kids didn't let me have a choice, right? It was no choice. And I was up, just with the kids, And then, you know, I watched the kids until what time? Until like 11. And then at 11, I went for like an hour-long bike ride because I went to 2 different stores, and then I did like a 20 to 30 minute actual workout, but I did like 60 minutes on the bike. And then after that, what did I do? I went to Costco, and Costco is always tiring. And then after that, I went to Lowe's because I had to get some propane for my grill. Because, you know, we got some burgers. We gotta make some burgers, hamburgers. So yeah, it was a long day. And then also I just finished a nice 10-minute core workout, ab workout, right before the stream. Because, you know, one of the things I'm trying to do, I'm doing is I'm getting healthy, right? So I'm losing weight. I'm doing all the things. So I try not, even though I did a 60-minute bike ride, I still wanted to at least get an ab workout in, because I also want, I want to have some good looking abs. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we did an ab workout this morning, and it wasn't terrible. I mean, not this morning, a few minutes ago. All right. So yeah, what we're gonna do here is like, look, if you unlock the C stand, it costs 6,000, but then you unlock the D, it's 14. But 6,000 plus 8,000 is 14. So you could just buy them all at once, and you're good. So we got D plane now. We got the D plane available. We got a lot of D planes. Oh my goodness. We'll start with the cargo planes. Actually not a lot of D planes. All of them are event planes. I'm guessing a lot of contracts must have gotten canceled, or maybe they're just not showing up, or maybe I just didn't have that many contracts. I don't know. Yo, what's up, Easy? Easy just got home from work. Off for the next 2 weeks. Let's go for camping. Oh, nice. I'm not a big camper myself. Only in Call of Duty, maybe. Nah, that's cool, man. Do you got internet where you go camping? Because I know, like, maybe that's the problem. Like, when I went camping, I was younger, and there was no internet, you know? So I hated it. But now you got like Starlink, you got like your cell phone has Wi-Fi, you know, hotspots in there. I mean, your cell phone is where you play World of Airports, right? So it's like you can be camping and still have like internet. So I think things are different now. Maybe I could try it. Well, I'll wait till the kids get older, you know, because ain't no way I'm going camping now. I'm not a camper. MK bought R14 at IID early on because a special plane dropped some time ago, and the random player arrivals were always E-plane. Nice, smart move, man. Nice move. That's good. That's like the first thing I always do when I'm in a new airport. I explore the airport to see what's going on, and you gotta look for like those like one-off stands that are like available by like a small extension or something. You should land a 767 or an A306. All right. We'll take this contract, okay? The D planes take a decade to leave the runway. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Another cool thing that World of Airports introduced was the fact that you can tell the planes to line up or to take off when you're in the camera view, the plane camera view. That's like such a cool thing. Like before, you would have to leave the camera view and then go back in order to see this. Now you don't. I just wish there was more things. Like I wish every single camera view let us actually play the game, you know. That's my wish. I would spend so much more time in cool camera views if I could like handle planes and like tell planes to park or push back or whatever. But yeah. Oh, it needs to be an L plane that is now a D, like the 767. So the 7 763 wouldn't count. I think that was an L plane. Was it? No, or actually no, it never existed before. All my patient folks still with the contracts. They made D planes and N dirty. Yo, Adam Keck, why did you want me to keep Ryanair at Prague? I still have the redemption here on my screen for like accepting or the refund. So, because I was thinking about asking you, why do you want that so badly? Like, there's got to be a reason. I need to understand. I don't know. There's no reason. AN12 doesn't go all the way, but the DH64 does. Oh, so I picked the wrong plane, huh? For my first D plane. All right, let's see here. All right, yo, DJ Airlines, I appreciate the contract request. But I don't really recommend it, man. You do have to redeem it on Twitch. You have to go in and you have to redeem an L plane contract for that kind of plane, the 762. But I wouldn't recommend it, man. I haven't played Innsbruck in like maybe 3 or 4 months. So yeah, definitely not recommended. But if you come into Twitch and you go use your fat coins and do the L plane redemption, the L plane contract, I'll go ahead and accept it for you. But it's not recommended, man. You could get a better contract with me somewhere else. Yo, Easy, thank you for 12 months, bro. My gosh, I can't believe it's been a year. That's crazy. You know what? I got a reminder on my phone this morning that tomorrow is the Phat Airlines anniversary, right? And I don't know what. Oh, my first video ever. So like for some of you guys, it's tomorrow, okay? But for me, it's still today. So my first Phat Airlines video ever, which was like how to get gold planes in world airports back into 1.5 times. That video came out July 29th, 2021. So this will be 4 years of us doing Phat Airlines. And it's crazy, right? We waited like a full year for 2.0 to come out, right? I had 2 babies in the last 4 years. Like what? Man, that is cool. So yeah, thank you guys, like all you guys who are here right now, and you know, all you guys who were there in the past. I appreciate you all. Man, like things are like, isn't it crazy how like time can fly? Like I can't believe it's been 4 years. Only LHR is a playable airport for Phat, Max said. What's up, Max, aka Miami? I'll play, well, I like to play the airports that'll like get me a reward, right? So like, I mean, I guess Innsbruck is not bad because I got all these rewards to work towards. But Innsbruck, it's not an airport I really enjoy playing on stream, even though it's kind of easy for me to do on stream because it's like there's not a lot going on, right? So like you can easily see what's happening at this airport. I don't have to like look really hard to find a plane that's doing something because there's usually only 1 or 2 planes doing something. But yeah, and everybody has this airport in World of Airports. So I feel like it's a little bit more, like, in my opinion, boring for me to play. But you know, you gotta change it up every once in a while. Easy has Starlink, nice. Yo, I got Starlink at home as well, but I don't have it activated. I have it as a backup for internet. So Starlink's pretty fast, man. At least where I'm at right now, it's pretty fast. But it came in pretty clutch for me because my internet went down, and you know, both me and my wife work from home, and actually I'm hybrid, so I have to go into the office every once in a while. but like my office is, well, if I go into the office, it's about an hour away if there's zero traffic. Okay, so that's not terrible. But like if I go during normal like work hours, it's usually anywhere from 2 hours to 3 hours, and that's so terrible. I hate it so much. I can't believe they make me do it. When I literally do the same thing in the office as what I do at home. I sit in my desk and I'm on a video call. It's the same thing. So yeah. But anyways, what was I saying? What was I saying about that? Oh yeah. That's why I got Starlink, because I was like, I am not going to like be forced to go into the office. I will buy Starlink, because then again, my wife also works from home too, so you know she has no office to go to. So I was like, all right, we got to buy Starlink. That way we have a backup in case our internet goes out again. I appreciate all the hype and the congratulations, man. DJ Bay played Innsbruck earlier. Had to clear out some random arrivals. Plus, you play it weekly. Yeah, I play Innsbruck on my main account every once in a while. I typically play Innsbruck when my contract capacity gets to max. But like my contract capacity at Innsbruck on my main account is like somewhere in like the 200s. So like every time my contract capacity is at max, because every time there's an event plane, I log into Innsbruck. Yeah, every time there's an event plane, I log into Innsbruck. I accept the event planes, all of them, and then I also load up the local contract and I load up the random player arrival. So those planes are always being like loaded in my game. So I'm constantly running out of capacity, but it's not a big deal. Let's go. New Woapedia entry. It has rustic charm. Yeah, you know what? You're right. It's not an airport that's like great every single day, which is like the rough part when you're a new player. But like if you play this airport like every once in a while, it's like man, this is pretty chill. Especially like on a night stream, I could really talk to you guys. You know, like I could really talk because like all the planes are doing work. You know, everything's happening. I'm gonna wait to push back for this plane to pass by, and then it's never gonna pass by. DJ works hybrid like that too, bro. Are you 3 hours as well? Like, or oh my gosh, like, so I do have a really nice boss though. My boss, and I don't take advantage of it, but she says like I could leave my house at 9 and get to the office whenever I get there. Which actually, surprisingly, if I leave my house at 9, I get to the office at like 10 or 10:30, like in between 10 and 10:30. If I leave my house at 8, I get to the office at 10. It's like I'm better off leaving my house at 9. And if I haven't tried leaving my house at 7, but I'm pretty sure if I leave my house at 7, I'll get to the office at like 8:30, which is like way too early. Not even awake at 8:30. But anyways, yeah, and then she lets me leave early, like from the office, to get home by 5, and that's rough too, because sometimes like I feel like I have to leave at 3, and actually one day I left the office at 3 and I didn't get home until 6, like. But then also one day I stayed late after the office, and because I had some old friends / coworkers, but he's more of a friend now than a coworker. But he works in the same office as me, and he lives in another state, so he was visiting. So I stayed late in the office with him, and I left the office at like 8 p.m. and I got home at 9 p.m. It was fantastic. Yo, what's up, Cat? Your World Airports crashed on IAD. That's sad. There's a couple things you can do, right? You can go up to game settings, right? And you can first turn off the radio. The radio does use up memory, so turn that off. You also want to put your graphics to fast. I think if you put your graphics to fast, the radio gets turned off automatically. And then turn off 3D landscapes and turn on battery saver mode. That's going to pretty much put your game on like the lowest quality, but that'll at least allow you to load into IAD, and then maybe afterwards you can kind of adjust some of the settings, so that way you can probably play on not lowest settings, but the lowest settings aren't even that bad, in my opinion. I always play on highest settings when I'm on stream, but when I'm not on stream, I'm playing with battery saver mode on. I'm still playing on pretty, but yeah. DJ works 26 hours in office a week. You leave early and finish from home. Yeah, that's what I do too. Is like, like if I know I'm leaving early, I try to not take advantage. I try to make sure my hours that I'm a salaried worker, right? So it's not like I'm an hourly worker, but I still want to make sure that I'm at least putting in 40 hours a week, or 160 hours a month. You know, that's the way I think about it, is in a monthly basis. Like, am I putting in 160 hours in that month? Because some weeks I am working like 50 hours, but other weeks I'm only working like 30, right? But 50 plus 30 is still 80, and that's still 2 weeks of work. So we're all good. Yo, Mike, I know, right? That WTF commute, yours is 30 minutes, bro. My commute, when I first moved into my house here, my commute was literally 5 minutes. My commute was 30 minutes if I walked, you know. If I rode my bike to the office, it would be 10 minutes. And now I actually drove by where the office used to be, and that the entire building is demolished, and they're building something else there. I don't know what they're building, but yeah. After COVID, during COVID, they sent us all home, right? And then nobody ever like returned back to that office. So that's a little sad. And it's, I mean, I was excited that we got to work from home. I did still work from home. You know, working 5 minutes from home was pretty nice too, because on my lunch breaks I could just go back home. I could you know, just easily travel back and forth as much as needed. I don't have that option now. Yo, what's up, 107 Leo? You're right. It is a very late stream for Europeans. It's actually a very early stream for Asians, though, right? The Asians, Australians, and it's a late stream for Americans, and it might be a very late stream for South Americans, but definitely it's like what, 3, 4, 5 a.m. for Europeans. You guys get me every single Saturday, so you know. Let me know if that works, Kat. I appreciate if you could let me know, because that way I can help other people, because you know, people come in, they have problems, I try to help as much as I can. All right, let's see what the 763 looks like. Oh, we gotta tell this plane to take off. Get off my runway. Barik Dakis, are you a developer or just a YouTuber of this game? I'm just a fan. I do talk, like I do have access to developers, so I do talk to them every once in a while. But I'm just a fan of the game. I play the game. You know, when I first found this game, I really fell in love. I first started playing UATC, Unmatched Air Traffic Control, right? And with UATC, I really enjoyed it, but I don't know, something about it just didn't keep me playing over and over again. But UATC had me looking for other plane games, right? So when I found I played Tiny Airports. I played a bunch of games. So when I played all these other games, and I finally found World of Airports, and man, World of Airports just I don't know. At first it was a little confusing for me. And then I found the World of Airports Discord, where a lot of people there were super helpful and helped me understand, you know, how to play World of Airports properly, and gave me tips and tricks and strategies and the best planes and things like that. And then I just couldn't stop playing World of Airports. I was playing World of Airports while I was on vacation. You know, I was playing World of Airports while at work. I was playing it everywhere. And then I noticed that a lot of people in Discord were asking the same questions over and over again, right? And then eventually, not eventually, but sometimes people wouldn't answer those questions, right? Because for people who are like who've been into Discord for a long time, for them it's like this is the same question over and over again, right? It's repetitive, it's annoying. But like the people who answered those questions for me is what helped me become a better player, right? And enjoy the game even more. So I wanted to create some videos about, you know, World of Airports, and I started it off actually 4 years ago, right? Because July 29th 2021 is my first video anniversary, and that's when I released my how to get gold plane video. Actually, even before I released it, I wasn't sure about the idea, like should I even like start trying to make videos for this game. But then I noticed World of Airports, they had like some of their videos on YouTube were getting like at least like 10,000 views or more, and then like their Top Gun video for San Diego got like over 250,000 views, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's people watching this, or at least, you know, like interested in what World of Airports is coming out with. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna make some videos, and then that's when you know, I started making videos. And yeah, now I'm still here. I'm actually planning on going back to like my old style of videos where I'm doing like tutorials, whereas a lot of my videos lately have been like stream clips, which are still kind of like helpful and tutorial like, but I really want to like go back into like the basics about tutorials, you know, answering your common questions, like, you know, how to get gold planes, how to get silver planes, you know, how do I level up Innsbruck, how do I level up this airport, that airport, how to get wallers fast, you know, like all those questions that you guys ask constantly. I don't want to ignore them, but I know like in Discord I don't always answer them, but I know in chat I usually answer them all the time. If you guys ask it in the chat, I'll spend a little bit of time answering it. But like sometimes these questions are a little bit complex, you know, they're not like easy yes or no answers, even though sometimes I could just give you a yes or no. I try to give you some information behind it. He's a fan. Dag, cat, it did not work, but it kicked you off from World of Airports. That is sad. I'm not sure what's happening then. That's interesting. DJ Bay, you started with Airport Madness and Radar Chaos. I think I've played those games too, but like I don't think they definitely didn't hook me, because I don't remember. I downloaded so many airplane games because I was like, well, one, I don't like the simulator games like where you're just like flying a plane. Yeah, that wasn't like, I wasn't a big fan of that. Got to line up all these planes. We're starting to get a little bit of a queue here. Yo, Raptor, you're almost international GRU. Let's go. That's pretty awesome, man. You know, like at this point, when I have this many planes waiting to take off, I should just go back to main menu. Because if you go back to main menu, the planes will all disappear. Only problem is this plane will have to land again. And this plane literally took all the runway, had to turn over on the runway to get back. But yeah, all the planes disappear. So the planes that are departing, they're going to disappear, and they'll be on a little bit of a delay before they actually appear on your radar for departure. But they will eventually appear on your radar. Tower Simulator 3, that's on Steam, right? Or no, is that Tower 3D? Hold on, I got Tower 3D Pro, which I think is the old version of it. Yeah. Tower Simulator 3. Yeah, I bought Tower 3D Pro, and I last played it in 2020. I have 4 hours in it. You know, I also got like an invite from a random invite, I would say. Yeah, definitely a random invite from another game developer studio. They want me to play their game Worldwide Rush. So I'm thinking about playing that game as well. And maybe doing it on stream. But at the same time, it's like, it's not like I stream every single day, right? So like if I get into a cadence where I'm doing more night streams, then maybe we spend one of the night, like maybe we do like Friday nights or something, like we play other games. But for now, I really just want to keep focusing and enjoying World at Airports. Mike played Airport Madness and Radar Chaos. Nice. Radar Chaos is an ATC game. Is one of my favorites, but they stopped developing it. Yo, is Radar Chaos the one where you could tell planes that cleared the land, and even if there's another plane like on the runway, and like they could end up crashing on the runway because you cleared them to land too early? Since when were you an aviation fan? I mean, I think I've always had like a subtle fascination for planes, but I've never like understood them. So yeah, I wouldn't consider myself a fan, but like the games themselves like always kind of like interested me, and they always seem kind of fun, like the ATC games, like especially because like I know how I hear about how hard an ATC, you know, an air traffic controller's job is, and you know, it was like how hard could it be? So in these games kind of like give you a glimpse. It's not real, but like sometimes it could feel kind of real, but it gives you a glimpse into how it might actually feel to be in that job, you know. So I was like, oh wow, it gave me like a lot of respect for that job, you know. All right, we're gonna land a plane because we got 0 out of 33 handling crew working right now. Hidden said, yeah, it's on Steam and independent. Gotcha. The tower, what is it? Tower 3, no. Tower Simulator 3. Yeah, it's... How much is the game? $60. It looks pretty cool. I'm not even showing it on screen, so I'm not gonna stare at it. DJ says, yes, you had to keep the spacing. All right, cool. Yeah, I remember that game. All right, peace out, Dinju. Thanks for being first. Thanks for being here. What's your favorite airport in WOA? Lakel asks. Let me see here. Hold on. I mean, there's like so many choices, right? And my favorite airport will kind of change based on like what the like what I want to do. So like in general, I like LHR a lot, but LHR is not like my favorite airport if I'm actively like playing. So let me describe that for you, right? Because with LHR, I'm usually putting LHR on tower managers for 2 hours right at nighttime, right at bedtime. So like after stream tonight, I'm gonna log out of Phat Empire, log back into my main account, the Phat Recon, and I'm going to go log into LHR, activate all the tower managers for 2 hours. And that way when I come back in the morning, when I wake up, there will be 190 planes on the ground ready for me to handle. That's fantastic, you know. But if I didn't do that, I'm not so much of a fan of playing LHR because it is kind of slow if you don't have planes already on the ground. So once I start to empty those planes out, it starts to kind of slow down. It gets a lot less fun for me. But that's the main reason I like LHR. You know, another airport that I really enjoy is right now SCL. SCL, the new airport in World of Airports, is really a fun airport. You know, you don't have airplanes crossing runways. You have multiple runways with landings and departures. You know, if you have a long departure queue, it takes a really long time for your departure queue to start interrupting your airport operations, so you can have a long departure queue. So SEL is starting to feel really, really nice. But you know, I'm not max level there yet, so I still got some time to really get my final opinion. IAD is cool too, but it's the 4 runways really make it like really fast to play. Like, you can really handle, if you have all the stands and you have a lot of handling crew, you can handle a lot of planes at once. Yo, Flamingo, thank you for resubscribing for 4 months. How you doing tonight? Yeah, so IAD is definitely up there on my list, because of the speed, to handle. It's like really, really fast to handle all those planes that you have, as long as you have the handling crew. And that's the issue you run into at IAD, is you lose handling crew. What else? Leipzig is a cool airport, but you also have handling crew issues at Leipzig. But otherwise, I want to spend more time at Leipzig. The problem with Leipzig is the taxi times, and once you have so many like E and F planes waiting for departure, it'll start to back up your entire airport for at least the cargo section underneath the bottom runway. So it kind of makes it tough sometimes for me to play. But yeah, I mean all airports really have a place. I mean, the only airports I really don't play are Innsbruck, but that's mainly because like it's so worn out for me, I guess. I don't know what the best word is for it, but like I've played it so much that it's like I don't want to play it every day or like every week anymore. I've just played it so much. I have 3 accounts. I have actually more than 3 accounts, but so I have multiple accounts, and all those accounts you have to play through Innsbruck eventually, right? If you want to get some rewards. Bari I don't play a lot of, but mainly because of it's like the taxi times there. And it's not like a lot of planes you can handle at once. Where at least at Leipzig you have long taxi times, but you have a lot of planes you can handle at once. Prague I still play, and I play all the other airports. St. Martin I also still play. I do enjoy St. Martin too. All right, now I'm gonna land these planes that are these event planes. That way we can clear out some contract capacity, and maybe we're also building up our Woapedia too while we're doing that. There we go, finally. Oh, Muscat is another good one, because that reminded me, because TK said SEL something like Muscat. Yeah. Maybe that's why I really loved Muscat when it first came out. It was fantastic, and they just kept updating it. Like now we use both runways for arrivals and departures. There was a time where one runway was only for arrivals, and one runway was for arrivals and departures, and the other runway was only for departures. That was rough. That was a rough time period, but ultimately I like Muscat too. How you doing, Flamingo? Luis says SEL so easy to level up, dude. With all the planes that you can get, like you can get so many different planes at SEL from different destinations, right? So like it's easy. It's kind of easy. Well, it's not hard to get like player contracts at SEL. Like it is at Sydney, for example. Like at Sydney, it's hard to get some player contracts because it's like so far out of the way. But actually, I heard, and I haven't tried it yet, but Sydney and SEL are probably good connections as well. So maybe that's something I need to try out. DJ said, I hope they update LHR and like that in Prague with the runways. So I don't think, I think LHR, they try to like imitate what they do in real life. So I don't know if we're gonna ever see that at LHR. And then at Prague, You know, both runways are never both runways are never active in real life, and because of the way the runways intersect, it wouldn't be safe to have both runways active. I think I mean, like MSY, you have both runways that they kind of intersect, but they also are both active in the game. So I'm not sure why. What's the case at MSY? Even though at MSY it's like at the bottom of the runway, right? So it's at the end of the runway. So maybe that's a little bit more safe. I don't know. Not an expert there, but I know Prague is the developer's like home airport. So I wouldn't expect to see. I would expect to see a little bit more realism there than not. You know. Flamingo likes Muscat because there's no de-icing. Yo, that's another thing that's cool about SCL, is that at SCL we get de-icing during the summer, right? I think it was like somebody messaged in Discord a couple weeks ago, but they're like, oh, de-icing at SCL, like first 3.0 de-icing. And I'm like, whoa, that is so true. I didn't get to experience the de-icing, but somebody did mention it, so I thought that was interesting. Yo, what's up, Raheem? How to unlock VIP? So VIP, you can get VIP for free by like joining the Phat Airlines Discord and like reaching by chatting. Every minute like you're chatting, you gain points and then you level up in Discord. You'll get a message in the bot channel, I think it is, when you level up. Once you reach like level 20, I think it is, but I forget what level it is. But once you reach level 20, you can get VIP for free. All the other ways are paid methods, right? So you can the cheapest way to become a VIP that's not free is you can become a YouTube member. And we have different membership tiers, but every single membership tier, whether you're basic or you're first class, it will get you access to VIP. So basic, I think, is only like $1 per month. So it's like that's the cheapest price I could set it to on YouTube, and you'll get access to VIP from that. You can also so with the YouTube membership, you get some, early access to videos. You get an icon next to your name in chat and in comments, and you also get special Phat Airlines emojis on YouTube. On Twitch, you can subscribe on Twitch, which I think is like what, $5.99 a month or something, and then there's other tiers as well. So whether you're on the tier 1 or tier 3, everybody gets VIP there. And with Twitch, you get ad-free viewing during streams if you subscribe, and you also get an icon next to your name and special emojis that you could use anywhere on Twitch. So that's pretty cool. You can also become a VIP by just subscribing on Discord. There's a straight up subscription method you can do on Discord for anybody who doesn't want to use YouTube or doesn't want to use Twitch. You can also subscribe on Discord. And then I'm also going to make a standalone version that you can subscribe or become a member, a VIP. And that's through our Phat Airlines website. That's not live yet, though. Oh, that was you, Adam, with the de-icing message. Nice. See, I'm good at remembering things, but I'm bad at remembering who said it. And that happens in real life too. I mean, this is real life too, but like, you know what I'm saying? This is the internet. But like, I'm really good at remembering things that happened, but like, for me, it's like, who said it is like a small detail, but then as I'm recalling the event, I'm like, it's not that small of a detail. Yo, did we just get another follow? No. Guys, we are 1 follower away on Twitch from 1,000. Help me. But Shane, thanks for subscribing on YouTube, bro. Appreciate that. Mufab says, how do you handle autoplanes at LHR? Do you assign max handling crew every plane or minimum? So when I play LHR, right, my LHR playstyle is a little bit different than all the other airports because I'm usually setting up the tower managers 2 hours right before bed, and I come back in the morning and we have 190 planes on the ground. So what I do is sometimes when I go into LHR right before bed, I have some planes already on the ground. So during that time period where I have the 2 hours of managers already active, I'm actually putting in the minimum crew needed to handle the plane. That way I can handle more planes at once because I'm not in a rush to get those planes out because I'm going to bed. So I'll put, the right before bed, I'm putting minimum crew on for all the planes, ramp agent on, of course, and then I'm activating all the tower managers for 2 hours, going to sleep, and then I wake up in the morning. When I wake up in the morning, I have 190 planes on the ground at LHR, and then from there, then I'm using I'm always maxing out the crew for the most part. The only time I might not is when I'm down to like the final 5 crew, and if I don't have like too many small planes on the ground, then I try to like make sure I have enough so I can handle another, seaplane. But otherwise, I'm pretty much always using max handling crew if it's not right before I'm going to sleep. Yo! Lake, thank you for the follow. Is that? But it still says I'm at 999. What the heck? Like Quiffy, thank you so much for the follow, bro. I'm waiting for that number to update. I'm waiting for it. Do I not have a goal set? Hold on, where's my goals? Follower goal. Oh yeah, we're at 1,000. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you so much for all you guys. It took, well, July 29th is my 4th year anniversary on Phat Airlines. Not my 4th year on Twitch. Twitch started a lot later than when Phat Airlines started. But either way, 4 years of Phat Airlines, 1,000 subscribers on Twitch. What a great milestone to meet. Thank you, all you guys. The 3 of you guys followed today. Lakequify, It's Namix, and Carter Mitch. Then we got people who died. Yuka followed 7 hours ago, like way before the stream. All you guys, all 1,000 of you, thank you so much. The Nagoya Singapore 789 reward that you have doesn't exist in Woapedia? Interesting. Yo, Carlitos, you started playing 3 days ago and you subscribed. You also went to my website. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, the website is pretty cool. I mean, right now we haven't had. I'm gonna add more guides. Like, my intention is to have some World Airports text-based guides on the website. So that way, for like, even for me, sometimes I don't want to watch a video. Like, for example, like the leaderboard video, I would never watch that myself. Like, I was just making it so we had a record of it. But like, I would never watch that video as a fan, But I would definitely look at the website page, to see where people are on the leaderboards, right? So that's like one thing that I'm gonna put on the website. The leaderboards, like a weekly or I don't know if it's gonna be weekly, but we're gonna put like a certain cadence, a regular leaderboard that has like the old, has the rewards tracked, on a regular cadence. So that way we can see, how people move. But I'm also gonna add, guides to the website. But right now, phatAirlines.com, what it has is a sign up link where you just input your email, and when I'm complete with the last set of emails, then I send out an email to everybody, and the email has a plane that you can. Everybody who responds back gets this plane. So my next plane is going to be an A21NX from IAD, right? So that plane can go to LHR, it can go to Innsbruck, it can go to Leipzig, it can go to St. Martin, it can go to San Diego, it can go to New Orleans, right? So it's going to be an A21NX from IAD. And everybody who gets that email, yo, Flamingo, thank you for the 1,000 bits. But yeah, so everybody who replies back to this email gets that plane. Now, sometimes it takes me a while to get you that plane because, you know, I have a life, and usually we're getting anywhere from like 100 to 300 responses. So and you know, we're sending out that email for like a week straight, so that way everybody has a chance to redeem it. So we do get a lot of email responses, but that's no problem. I want to help out people, and that's why, like, on the Phat Airlines Discord, we have the giveaway bot. The giveaway bot is really amazing because the giveaway bot we have, which only VIPs right now can start a giveaway, but it gives everybody an equal opportunity to win a plane contract from anybody who's hosting a giveaway. So it's pretty fantastic because, like, I'm all about helping new players too. You know, for new players, it's hard sometimes to get a contract. It's hard to get somebody to send you a plane because, right? Nobody knows who you are. How are they going to trust you? They don't even know who you are, right? So it's a tough spot to be in as a new player, and that's why I have all these like methods. So that way, if you're a new player or an existing player, it doesn't matter. Everybody is like equal in that way. I do know, like, VIPs, we also have a contract board for the VIPs. So VIPs do get a lot more contracts from me than non-VIPs. But I'll still send contracts to non-VIPs with our regular contract board on Discord. So, yeah. That was a lot of words to say for you, just because you said you subscribed and went to my website. So thank you for that, man. I appreciate that, Carlitos. Yo, Flamingo, thank you again for... Yo, thank you for the super chat, man. Who is that? That was Carlitos. Yo, he said, send me a cool plane, please. Alright, you gotta put in your username, bro. That's another pro tip. Because, like, there's a lot of people in these chats. Whether that's on Discord, like, wherever you're at, like, with World at Airport. Oh, I'm not gonna speak for other streamers and stuff, because I know some other people do stream. But I know, at least in my chat, and my like comments or on my Discord, and I would say even on the World at Airports Discord, I would say whenever you're asking for a plane, always put your username there. You know, even if your username is the same as your username like on Discord or here on chat, people don't know that, right? So always put in your username, because there's people who are watching the stream, because we got 22 viewers here, but there's not 22 people talking, right? Chatting. I mean, some people were chatting before, some people are just watching right now, but like those people are still around. I'm reading your message usually out loud, right? So put your username in the chat with it, and that might help you get a few more contracts. I think it's worked for a lot of other people who've done that, and it's more like a marketing or sales kind of thing, right? It's like actually even beyond that, like, you know, asking you shall receive, right? And that's what you're doing. You're asking. But like, some people aren't going to ask you the next question, like, what's your username or what airport? So make it easy for them. The easier you make it, the easier it becomes for you. Yo, Flamingo, thanks for gifting a sub to Lakeify. And thanks for the 1,000 bits. Did I say 10,000 before? It's 10 o'clock at night. All right, let's watch this plane take off. And thank you, Carlitos, for the $2. Appreciate that. You're Lakel on YouTube. Oh, okay. I think I remember you. Are you accepting player contracts? So I'm not on. I wouldn't. All right. So at Innsbruck, I wouldn't recommend it. All right. I would not recommend you send me a contract to Innsbruck. I don't know when the next time I'm going to play Innsbruck will be. Okay? So you might not see your plane ever again. But we're going to switch over to LHR pretty soon. And at LHR, yeah, you can feel free to send me a contract request here. You do have to redeem it on Twitch. So underneath the chat, there's like a little fat coin icon. You click on that and you have like an S plane contract, M plane contract, L and X plane contract, you just redeem it for the size plane that you're sending me. This is the old sizes, so if you're not sure, you can always ask us in the chat and I'll answer you or somebody else will. But yeah, that's how you get the contract with my stream account. But if you want to just send me if you don't want to pay your coins for it, you can just send me the contract to my main account, the Fat Rican, and I'm always accepting contracts there. Even when I run out of contract capacity, I just buy more contract capacity. I have 3.8 million silver planes. I buy contract capacity every single day, or actually, you can't buy. I buy contract capacity with silver planes every 2 days because that's how often you can do it. So, yeah, feel free to send me contracts on my main account. I do not mind at all. Thank you for the congratulations, Flamingo. That's 1,000 followers, 4-year anniversary of Fat Airlines. It's like it's a pretty cool. It's a good day. Shane, thanks for the follow on Twitch, bro. Was that you? A Blue XH. Thank you, man. Thank you for the follow, Blue. Yo, Raptor, you just got international. Let's go. I think you were like one level away a couple at the beginning of stream. But yeah, speaking of beginning of stream, I think it is time. Well, we're gonna wait for the DH64 over here to get to its stand, but I think it's gonna be time to switch airports. We're gonna switch over to LHR. That way we can make some progress. I'm hoping that we can finish out the level that we're currently at, so that way on Saturday or maybe another night stream, we can like maybe get to the point where we're unlocking Sydney. We are so close. We're 2 levels away. We have one level that we're only 100 XP, and then we got another like 1300 XP to go. But yeah, even with 1300 XP, we are so close. I'm super excited. Any news on the call sign competition? The call sign competition is going to happen. It is happening. I guess the news, I need to make a news post, right? So what I have to do. Let me hold on. Let me make a note to myself right now, because I'm working on a lot of different content for Fat Airlines, right? I have content guides right now for how to get gold planes. I have a content guide for how to level up airport fast. I have a content guide for baby number 2. I have a one for how to get silver planes, and each of my little content guides, they have what do they have? They have each of the platforms that we're on, right? So it has YouTube, it has email, it has website, it has Discord, it has Twitch, it has Instagram, it has TikTok, and it has Facebook. So it has 8 different methods, like areas where I need to post about it, so that way I don't like forget it, because like I want to be consistent, you know. I want this to be like how I approach things in the future, so I need to move that up on my priority list. But the SCL call sign competition is definitely happening. It's going to be ongoing, right? We don't have a submission, a place for submissions yet, but it's going to be based on your planes at Santiago de Chile, SCL, and we're going to end the call sign competition when the new airport comes out. That's when the call sign competition is going to end, around that time, maybe like a week later or a week before, something like that. Who knows? We'll have to figure that. That'll probably be like an audible, like something that's mentioned on the fly. But we're going to have 5 different categories, right? So one category is going to be called aviation, right? So the aviation category is going to be like kind of self-explanatory. It's going to be any call signs that are related to aviation. So we could look at some of these call signs that we have here. We have MIH, right? We have JRX, NQKD. We got OKBIL, LMS, CDQ, IGWC, OEDAZ. So like, you know, none of these might not win an aviation category, but like aviation category would be like if you had like WOA as a call sign, maybe If you had an airport, you know, that's in the game as a call sign, that could probably win something. But we'll have 5 different categories, so that way we'll have 5 different winners, and then we'll also have with those 5 winners, the winners will get VIP access for, I think, at least a year, and probably longer because I'll probably forget to disable it, so whatever. You'll get VIP access, and I did ask Kubasan, the World of Airports developer, if we could give away gold planes for this competition, and he said yeah, sure. So I don't know how many gold planes that's going to be, but that's pretty nice of the developers to, you know, help support me in a way, and you guys, right, for participating in the call sign competition. So I have to make an announcement post for sure. You're right, Flamingo. Okay, I spent a lot of time talking about that. Carlitos' username is XElderman X. You play in San Diego Airport and you're from San Diego. Yo, that's got to be pretty cool to like have your local airport in the game. I know a few people here have their local airport in the game, and they love it, man. They love it. I would love it too. I mean, I had accidentally visited IAD because I was late to my flight, so I had to take a different flight in order to get to Cancun to vacation. And I accidentally visited IAD, and that was pretty awesome. I really enjoyed it. It's like seeing IAD Washington in person. Like I was like, oh, I was nerding out, geeking out. I told my wife, I was like, you hold the baby because I'm checking out the airport. That was good times. All right, we're level 80 here at LHR, which means we only have one more level to go for Sydney, which is pretty amazing. But we do got to get 1200 XP, which is not terrible, but it's not gonna happen like in one day. Yo, what's up, JetBlue Southwest Airlines? Can you send me a plane? Yeah, your best bet. Yo, thanks for the support again, man. What's your favorite airport? So, favorite airport. I think I answered this before, but it kind of varies, right? I mean, it depends on what I'm looking for. Like, if I'm looking for a chill experience when I'm playing World of Airports, then I would say my favorite airport is St. Martin, right? St. Martin's real chill. What I'll do is I'll schedule the approach manager I'll turn the approach manager on. I'll turn the approach manager on, and then I'll turn the arrival sequence on for F, E, and D being first, right? So that way those larger planes can land first. And then once those larger planes are there, then I turn off the arrival sequence, and it still only prefers favorite airplanes. But that way, planes will just land in the order they were assigned. And that usually gets me a lot of B and C size planes landing. So it lets me handle a lot of planes at once, like the larger planes, which you need to get in and out as fast as possible because that's where you're going to get the XP from. That's where you're getting the Wallers from. So it's really important, but really chill airport. You know, LHR I love for the fact that you can have 190 planes on the ground. So I think that's pretty amazing. You know, BKK, I really liked at first because a lot of players were playing the airports that were like nearby, but I feel like a lot of players are not playing those local airports anymore, so it's kind of not being as enjoyable for me. I like playing airports that let me play with other players. So like that's why I play IAD, because IAD you can send to every single airport in the game. So that's a fantastic airport. LHR, I mean, it's a great airport because you can send to Europe, so you can have your all your size airplanes can go to a destination, a player destination. So I love LHR for that too. There's just so many good airports, so many good choices. So that's why it kind of varies by the day. But LHR is usually on the top of there. IAD is up there, but SCL is making its way into my heart, man. It's making its way into my heart. Oh yeah, Liquefy. Make sure you join the Phat Airlines Discord, and then in your Discord settings, and this is for anybody who's a YouTube member or a Twitch subscriber, not just Liquefy, but Liquefy got gifted a sub, so I want to make sure they know. Make sure you join the Phat Airlines Discord, and when you're in the Discord, on your Discord profile, you need to link your Twitch account, because you're a Twitch subscriber now, or your YouTube account if you're a YouTube member, and then you'll get access to the VIP channels. Thank you, Flamingo, for that reminder, and thank you for the gift. Really love how Flamingo, like, how it gives to the community, to everybody here, especially like people who are like new and interested and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. Adam Cack, don't buy Sydney, man. Play those 18 levels, bro. Play those 18 levels. Carlitos, by the way, guys, I'm like 10 minutes behind in chat. I'm still reading messages from 2209, right? So, but I am scrolling through chat. I'm gonna get to the bottom again. I eventually get to the bottom, and when I do, I think something's wrong. But I'll get to the bottom, guys. I will get there. It just might take a while, but I'm gonna get there. This is my favorite, when I get to see this camera view. How do you get into the server? Just type in !Discord in the chat, and my bot will give you the link. Or on every single one of my videos, there is a link to the Discord in the description. JetBlue asks, what's the new airport coming out? We still don't know. I feel like, so I think this Santiago de Chile came out like June 28th or something like that. It came out like right at the end of June, right? And for the most part, a lot of times we'll get an update about what the next airport will be about 4 to 8 weeks after the new airport comes out. So we're kind of right at that 4-week mark, but I'm really expecting it to be at that 6-week mark. So right now, there's nothing been announced, nothing's been teased, but I'm sure in the next month, next 30 days or so, we'll probably have something like an asset developer, or maybe something on the World of Airports forum, some kind of teaser, or maybe even just an Instagram or social media post, right? Something's going to show up and give us some information about the next airport, because all the airports come out about every 3 to 4 months is like their goal. Sometimes they can't meet that goal, right? There's a lot of things that are outside their control, or some things that they just won't release a game with like major bugs, right? Actually, I think that was probably one of the reasons why 3.0 was delayed, because I found a few bugs that I reported to them. And I know 3.0, like they promised, they wanted it to be out like before like Q2. I forget what exactly it was, and it came out like 3 days later. But like I found some bugs that were like you guys would have been upset about. So things like that kind of cause delays. But I'm sure once we get any kind of update on what the next airport's going to be, I'll be sure to share the post or share the information wherever we're at. Facebook, Instagram, maybe not TikTok, maybe not YouTube, maybe it will be. It depends on what that looks like, right? Because if it's an asset developers, then we're gonna have a lot of information that's perfect for a video. If it's so yeah, it depends on what it is. But yeah, we're gonna get there. What does SLC stand for? Well, SCL is the newest airport in World of Airports. I don't know what SLC stands for, but I'm guessing that's a typo or a misunderstanding or something. But SCL is the newest airport in World of Airports. It's Santiago de Chile, and it's the airport in South America that was released like June 28th or something. Salt Lake City. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah. Flamingo said that's awesome that Kuba-san said yes to the gold planes. I know, right? I'm pretty excited about that. But yeah, I gotta make a post. Are adding a US airport? Bro, there's already 3 US airports. I think it'll be a while before we see another US airport. You know, I think we were all surprised when New Orleans came out, but New Orleans was a planned airport from like the beginning. But I think a lot of the features that MSY New Orleans has, they didn't have the technology back in the 1.0 era. You know, when World of Airports first came out, they didn't have blocked stands. They didn't have combined stands. They barely had, multiple runways in the game. So a lot of the technology and things that they've worked on since then probably enabled them to really release New Orleans. But I know like World of Airport's primary goal right now is to get an airport all over the world, right? So that means we got South America now, which is great, but we also need some people might say Canada, some people might say Mexico, like different countries, but Africa is definitely missing an airport, right? So we're missing Africa, and then you also got to keep in mind that you want an airport that you can play with other players too. So it's not as easy as just adding an airport, but we'll see. Yo, Jet Setter Bound went to St. Martin last summer. Coolest place ever, bro. That sounds awesome. I hear good things about it. I rarely hear any bad things about St. Martin as like a destination, to visit. So that's pretty cool. But what else? Oh yeah, one of my goals that I would love to accomplish, I would love to do for Phat Airlines, is to visit all of the airports that are in World of Airports in real life. That's like one of my goals to achieve. I mean, I've already been to IAD, so that's one off of my list. But I would make a video off of it, just to show you guys what the airport looks like. And then my accidental visiting of IAD kind of also made me realize that, I probably need to plan. I need to plan for each of these trips in order for me to make good videos off of it, right? I would have to buy a window seat, right? So I would have to buy a window seat. I would want to, make sure I know what terminal I expect to land in. That way I'm not, if I'm landing in a remote stand, at least I know that that's what's happening and I can get some footage there. But I need to plan ahead or have plans for all the things that could go wrong. Carlitos, you might change your name later to Fly High. Interesting. JetBlue is playing Leipzig to get 3 stars. Nice. Long Airways asks, what do you think about this update? I mean, I do like that they addressed the 2D map, right? We can turn the map now. That's pretty cool. But what I really, and I know I've talked to the developers about it, and I know they're working on it, but I really wish not only could we zoom in, but I want to be able to see the entire airport. For every airport, not just LHR, but for every airport, I want to see the entire airport in 2D view. Otherwise, I feel like 2D view is not as useful because you still have to scroll and look around. But I feel like they're getting there. You know, the player, the name changes are fantastic. You know, I love the fact that you can go here to game settings, go to profile, and you can set your default colors. You can set a default livery. I really love that. It makes things a lot easier when buying planes. You still have to configure the plane, but that's not such a bad trade-off. Now you don't have to worry about painting it or selecting the right livery. I can dig it. You know, I'm enjoying that. Thanks, TK. TK said, I love how you pronounce it. Hope I'm doing good. There's a lot of words I don't pronounce right, but I don't let it bother me. What's my favorite airline or livery that I've seen in WoA? I don't know. Didn't they have like a Pokemon livery in the game at one point? Or am I making that up? I feel like they had like some kind of like special video game livery. I think it was Pokemon. That was pretty cool. Christopher sent me a DH8B to my Prog on my main account. All right, nice. Thanks for letting me know. Because now I'm gonna make sure it's a point. I make it a point to play some Prog. I'm all caught up on chat for the most part. I'm like reading the newest messages, but I'm on the bottom of chat now, so that's good. Yo, Amar, thank you for subscribing on Twitch, bro. Appreciate that. Maro Rest Repo said, hey Fat, quick question. How does purchase a new aircraft for my fleet work? In terms of, will I be able to use those airplanes on all airports or just the one airport I bought it? That's a definitely a reasonable question, man. Because like there's certain things in World of Airports where if you buy it, it's only for one thing, and then there's other things where if you buy it, it's for everything, right? So when it comes to unlocking an airplane model, that airplane model is unlocked for all your airports. Now, the first time you go in and you go to, let me show you. You go down here to your fleet button, you go to configure and buy, and you go to a locked plane. The first time you go to buy a plane, you have to, select the plane. Let's go to an expensive plane. There we go. 764, right? So you have to select the plane, but you have to not only have the gold planes, but you also have the Wallers. So that way for your first unlock. But after you unlock the plane, then all future purchases of this plane will no longer cost gold planes at this airport or any other airport that can support that plane. So that you only have to pay Wallers in the future. Now, when it comes to liveries, the liveries are only unlocked for that plane. So even though all the planes have basic 1, if you buy basic 1 on the 764, you only have basic 1 unlocked for the 764. All right. So I know that could be a little confusing because when you unlock a plane, it's unlocked everywhere. But if you unlock a livery, it's only for that plane. All right. But yeah, thank you for that question. You still have to buy the plane, right, for the Wallers, but you don't have to ever spend gold planes more than once to unlock a plane. Yeah, there was a Pokemon livery. Okay, good. I was like, man, I think I have a picture somewhere of it because I was like, I'm a big Pokemon fan, man. I'm excited for the new Pokemon game coming out later this year. I've played every single main game Pokemon since Red and Blue. Yeah, every single main game Pokemon game, period. Because that's like Red and Blue is the very beginning. So I've played all of them. I've never caught them all. So maybe I'm not as huge a fan as what I'm leading you on to believe, right? But I enjoy Pokemon a lot. And it's been such a big part of one, I actually credit Pokemon for the reason why I can read fast, because there's a lot of reading you have to do in video games, but in Pokemon especially, I was like 7 years old when I was first playing Pokemon. Maybe I was younger or older, but I want to say 7. I was playing on my Game Boy. It had no backlight, it had no color, right? It was just a regular Game Boy. And I remember playing Pokemon, and you know, because those Game Boys did not have backlights, like you could pretty much only play when the sun was out. Otherwise you had to be like underneath the lamp directly in order to see it. It was pretty bad, but it was amazing technology at that time, right? So yeah, I had to quickly learn to read fast so that way I can like not exactly skip through all like the story, but get to actually playing the game. But like if you skip through what you were reading, then you wouldn't know what you had to do next, right? So you had to read what was happening in the game in order to know what you had to do next. So you can't just skip it, you had to read it. So I just learned to read really quickly, and I blame it all on Pokemon. I'm not such a big Star Wars fan, but I have nothing against Star Wars. For me, maybe I feel like maybe if I give Star Wars a chance now, I'd be more of a fan. But like for me, it's hard to be like a fan of like movies, because I feel like movies are like usually it's like one and done, right? Star Wars, right? It's a lot more than just one and done now. So, but now I feel like I have so much to catch up on. I'm like behind. But that's why I prefer TV shows, because TV shows you got like 8 episodes to a season, so you're getting a whole story out of it. And you know, 8 episodes are usually about like 40 minutes each, whereas one movie is like 2 hours. You know, so I like to understand. I like to hear I like the story part about movies and TV shows. Are they adding playable private jets? I do know they're adding private jets, but I don't know if they're going to be playable or not. They really haven't explicitly said that. I don't think they'll be playable in like, as in like you can have them in your fleet, because it sounded to me almost like it was more going to be like an I don't want to say interruption, like more like a random event. Not like a special airplane, but more like a random event that happens. Like this plane is just going to randomly land in your airport kind of thing. Like, and you have to handle it and do things with it. But that was the way I interpreted it. Maybe somebody else might think differently. But I mean, that's the thing with sometimes the way they World Airports words, you know, the developers word things, is that it could be a little ambiguous, which means like it's not exactly clear. So I also keep in mind that, you know, I don't think English is their first language, but also even if it is, they also have to use words that are easily understood by a worldwide player base, right? And all of their, you know, releases or notes, updates are in English, right? So you got to be careful about the words you're using. Game Boy was a revolution. Yeah, I actually bought all of the Nintendo. Purchased every single Nintendo console since actually I after the N64. I've had every single. My parents wouldn't let me get an N64. That was really sad. They did let me get a Game Boy, but I don't understand why they let me get a Game Boy and not an N64. But I finally got them. I got them to crack when I was older, and I got them to get us a GameCube, and man, that changed my life. It sounds dramatic, but it really did. Like I love gaming so much, and like it kind of like low key gets me upset when people online talk about like how gaming is bad for you, and like, you know, like, oh, gamers are losers. I mean, yeah, you know, there are some losers who all they do are gaming, right? But like for me, it's been such a positive impact in my life, you know. Like I was just telling you guys how Pokemon helped me learn to read fast. You know, RuneScape taught me so much about like patience, right? And also, I mean, I was the smartest kid in class one of these days because when I was in like middle school, because I knew that tin and copper combined made bronze, and the only reason I knew that was because of RuneScape, guys. And RuneScape still exists today, which is amazing too. You know, I played like ever since I got an Xbox. I've been playing on Xbox Live with my friends, right? So we would play Call of Duty together, and we would play, you know, games together. Like instead of me going out like with all my like some of my friends would go out to like house parties and like get drunk, I would just be playing Xbox with my friends. Like how is that being a loser? It's not. Like I think going out and getting drunk is like not loser, but it's a lot less safe than playing video games at home with your friends, having just as good of a time as if you were out drinking. You know, even now I play Destiny 2. I'm starting to find, you know, starting to convince some of my friends to play that with me. You know, I played Sea of Thieves with my wife in the past. We haven't played it recently, but we used to play that all the time. That was like our date nights. We would just go and play Sea of Thieves. So yeah, I really do love video games. And the GameCube just changed everything for me because that got me into console gaming. Dynamic said, thanks for the E295. Yo, thank you for the email, bro. That's like really, like, I really appreciate all you guys who respond back to the emails. You are welcome, but thank you for signing up. Thank you for replying back. Like, every time I get, like, I think about it, I know I need to send out more. But it's a lot. It's a lot of contracts, a lot of planes, a lot of setup. And you know, I want to make sure people are also we're getting planes handled, so it's a lot. But I thank you for selling me, because like that keeps me motivated, keeps me, you know, driving. Raptor XRR said, what's your favorite Pokemon? Mine's Charizard. I always enjoyed it when I was a kid. So my first starter Pokemon was Bulbasaur. So I mean, he's up there on my favorites. But I don't think let me think. I don't know if I have a favorite. Maybe I think every single Pokemon game I always go for a Dragonite though. So maybe, oh, okay, my headphones just died. So every Pokemon. Let me turn on my speakers. Yeah, every Pokemon game I try to go for a Dragonite. So Dratini, Dragonair, Dragonite. So I always try to go for one of those guys. He's probably my favorite, I would say, because like every game I try to go for to get that Pokemon in my party. You found a Kung Fu Panda play? Nice. Flamingo said, I missed the Easter egg interactions on each airport. Yeah, I wish they would keep doing it, but I know it could be a little hard. But I mean, even if it's as simple as just like tapping a plane, or not a plane, like the train or something that's in the airport, or like maybe like at Sydney, I don't know, like I know they're gonna be reworking Sydney's one of the things they've mentioned recently, that Sydney needs a rework. So like, I mean, there are cars driving around the airport, not in the airport, but outside of the airport. There are cars, right? So what if they had a special car, you know, like a red Ferrari, right? And you have to tap that car and you get $50. Like something like it could be as simple and silly as that, or make it, you know, relevant to the airport itself, right? Like Mr. Fu at Nagoya, or a helicopter at Innsbruck, or that plane at Prague. But yeah, I love Easter eggs, and I'm telling you, even at St. Martin, I'm also like randomly tapping all the boats in St. Martin, because I'm like hoping that one day one of these boats are gonna get me $50. 'Cause, 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 ' JetBlue asks, should I keep a fleet plane or sell it? I always keep my planes, but like you get a lot of different opinions when you ask people around here. I think the consensus is like if it's a smaller plane, a lot of people tend to sell it so that way they can use that money towards unlocking a larger plane or buying a larger plane. Or like if you're in the beginning of an airport, getting the Wallers might help you with unlocking more stands or more equipment, or so that way it can expedite your progress. I always keep most of the times I keep my planes because over time they're going to get you more Wallers, and it's easier to find a contract partner with your own plane to send to somebody than it is to get somebody to send you a plane. So I always that's what I prefer, but just because that's what I prefer doesn't mean that's what you have to do either. Flamingo said gaming is good for you as long as it's in moderation. Yeah, such is most things in life, right? Like everything can be bad for you if you don't moderate it. Which is like, you know, it's like hard to think about. Like you spend too much time outside, it's bad for you. But if you spend like, you know, 20 minutes a day outside, that's really good. Like you need that vitamin D, right? Like the sun will literally kill you if you're out there all day without sunscreen or something, you know? So yeah, everything in moderation for sure. What's up, Lincoln? Colin? Oh, I forgot about the San Diego Easter egg too. Yeah, the San Diego Easter egg with the Top Gun. Oh, what is it? F-14? That's a cool one. I do wish though that we had well, I haven't been able to get like the air traffic controller view, right? Imagine if like you could be in the air traffic controller tower and you see that plane just zoom, flying by. I think that would be pretty cool. Peace out, Flamingo. You have a good night. Thank you for your support, and have a good day tomorrow at work. For me, actually, yeah, I'm getting a haircut tomorrow, so this is gonna be I'm gonna cut this hair off. I'm getting a haircut tomorrow, and then I got a couple things. I don't think I have any meetings tomorrow, but there's always work to do, especially with a baby at the house. Maro said, "Hey Fat, can I send contracts just with the planes that I've bought from a specific airport, or am I able to send the reward planes like a contract for other players?" So you're only able to send contracts with planes that you have in your fleet. So with the reward planes or the planes you're getting from like map contracts, actually these reward planes, right? You're not sending them to anybody. They're only for you to handle. These were like those are event planes. These reward planes that you're getting from like leveling up, like you get over here. Where is it? Wow. Okay. Here we go. Reward plane, right? A388. Those reward planes are only for your handling. It's not for you to send to other people. That's just not possible. Same thing with these contract requests that are coming in. Only for you to handle. But when you have a plane in your fleet that you can land, like for example, this plane right here is my own plane. It has this red circle, which means it's not assigned a contract. It says it right here too, assigned contract when airplane lands. When that airplane lands, you then have the option to send it to to any destination, including a playable airport. When you send it to a playable airport, it'll ask you if you have a player you want to send it to. You can say yes, and then you type in the player name, and then it'll send them a contract request. But if you say no, that you don't know a player, then it'll let you send your plane to that airport. It's actually free, whereas like the map contracts, they cost Wallers. So a playable airport is free. There are limits on how many planes you could send at a time to different airports. Once you hit the limit, then they start costing you gold planes, which I don't really recommend. I would say just find playable airports, find other players you could send to, because you could send to an unlimited amount of other players, which is pretty cool. I've been trying to play with other players, but I don't see the option. So you need to have a plane in your fleet, right? So you need to buy a plane, or if you have a premium pass, you can you get a lot of planes at the premium pass. So we're looking at LHR because that's the airport we're at right now. But like LHR, if you have the premium pass, you get an E190 instantly. You get to add that plane into your fleet. Now, if you're only free, you have to wait till level 3. But at level 3, you get an E170 here at LHR. So those are planes that you can add to your fleet, and then depending upon the plane, some planes can reach other playable airports. So when you look at your radar, right, you got the legend on the bottom, but you have different airports. The ones that are like blue are the playable airports that you can send to other players. It has to be your own plane. Now, when other players send you a request, you're gonna get something like this right here, like we have from DJ Airways. So we have this contract request. So DJ Airways has this plane in his at their Innsbruck. Their plane landed, and they went into the map. The map. They selected LHR. They said yes, we know a player. They typed in my username, and then it's up to me, the other player, to accept contract or hit the X. Now on this account, I only accept contracts when it's redeemed on Twitch. So I just let them pend here because I'm hoping that the contract request will come in the future, or not the contract request, the redemption will come in the future. If not, I just let it sit there. But if you send it to my main account, I hit accept all the time, and then we get the contract started right away. What plane is the most versatile that I can probably buy? So I think the plane that's highly recommended right now because of its specifications and because of its price in gold planes is the 744 or the A388. I would probably more recommend the 744 because it's an E plane. It's and while an A388 is an F plane, but if you look here, like we got an A388 right here. Look at how much revenue this A388 is bringing me. It's bringing me 12,000 wallers. Look at this one, 13,000 wallers. Like, you're not gonna get that from any plane. You might get that from a 748 actually, but that's where the A388 comes in really nice. But even with the 744, you're gonna get 8,000, 9,000 wallers, maybe even 10,000 wallers. So you can make a lot of money with those planes. And the 744, it can go to a lot of different destinations as well from a lot of different airports. Christopher has ongoing contracts at Prague. You can't cancel my airline contracts at max level. What can I do to cancel my contracts? I forget how to cancel contracts, to be fair. A lot of times I cancel my contracts when it comes up for renewal. That's usually what I've been doing. Like at my GRU, for example, I have so many contracts there with non-players because I was like saving up planes, trying to make sure we had enough for leveling up. That now what I do is when this contract is finished, so like this contract is up for renewal after one handling, but when this is at 1 out of 1, instead of hitting upgrade and continue, I hit there's two buttons and I forget what they're called now. But there's two options, one for continue and one for cancel. So I hit the cancel button. It's almost 5 a.m. Oh my gosh, Adam, thanks for hopping in, bro. Info button, then see, but sometimes that it's not there. Because like if we go here to contracts, we go to active. Let's go to B for British Airways. Here we go, B. Maybe, well. Right, so we go to info, you go to contract. Sometimes it's not there, the cancel button. I think over here, right, you have cancel. But sometimes I notice with non-player airplanes, sometimes that cancel button isn't there. But yeah, you can go to the I, you can go to contract, and you'll sometimes have the cancel contract option there. But I've noticed sometimes it's not there with the certain planes. Maybe it's after you assigned it a stand, it no longer lets you cancel it. I think that's might be what it is. It can't be assigned a stand. Where is the only non-player contract you have active always? So, usually I don't, well, for the most part, I don't really play with a lot of non-player contracts anymore. The main time I play with non-player contracts are like in the newest airport. So like right now at SCL, I have a lot of non-player contracts there. I also have a lot of player contracts, right? But I have way more non-player contracts than I do at any other airport. And that's because when I reach max level at that airport, I like to keep playing. And I like to have those non-player contracts saved up. So that way, those contracts, when they're complete, I keep them in the air. I don't let them land. And that way, when the update comes out, because when the update comes out, they add a few more levels. Maybe sometimes it's just one, sometimes it's three. Sometimes, who knows how many levels it could be. But ultimately, they add some levels to the airport, and those added levels are going to is going to be how you get the next airport for free. And I love getting things for free, especially like, why would I pay for something that I could get for free? That's why I don't recommend buying airports. There's a lot of reasons why you might want to, so I'll support you with that, but I usually don't recommend buying airports. So yeah, back to your question about the non-player contracts. I save up those non-player contracts so that way they stay in the air. When the new update comes, I can land them all. I get a bunch of XP. It helps me get the next level really quickly. And that way I don't have to hold on to so many player planes. Even though I still hold on to some player planes, I try not to do that as much, because I know some of you guys need the silver planes, or need the XP, or just need the plane back, right? So I try to send them back, but sometimes I just sometimes my game time goes down at that airport once I'm max level, because it's a lot more. It needs a lot more attention when I'm manually assigning gates versus when I have the tower managers doing it all. You missed your lunch break, Shawty? Oh no. Hockey fan says, Fat, yes, the plane must be free from the stand to cancel. Yep, that's probably my mistake that I always make, because I always have the delivery manager on, right? So with the delivery manager, it's like I don't know if the plane's assigned or not. What's up, Carolina Santiago? Nice to see you, bro. All right, where are we at? We at 1,000 more XP for LHR. That's a lot. We're definitely not getting 1,000 XP on the next stream. How much time do we have on our tower managers? So yeah, I'm getting a little tired here. So I'm gonna wait for the tower managers to expire, and then we're gonna end the stream. So that's about 15 minutes. But yeah, we're having a good night today, right? Thank you guys again for joining today's stream. I know I sound like I'm ending. I'm not ending right now, but I just really do appreciate you guys, because like, for real, like in my point of view, I'm an hour away from my 4th anniversary of Phat Airlines. My first video was released on July 29, 2021. Not only that, but then today we also hit 1,000 followers on Twitch, which was amazing. Thank you guys, like, for real. And especially when I go live on like an evening stream, I'm always a little nervous, man. I'm always a little nervous. I'm like, are you guys gonna be here? Is anybody gonna be here, or is it just gonna be me? So like, I'm really happy that you guys are here. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot more fun when you're here. I'm sure I could talk to myself as well. I mean, technically that's what I'm doing. I'm in my room talking to myself, but you guys are here in chat, and it makes it so much more fun. So thank you guys. Doesn't the cancel contract button only appear while the plane is in the air? Well, let's test that out. Got this plane right here. No, it's right there. Yeah. So it's technically not in the air, right? Because it's still on the ground, but it's no longer assigned a stand, and it's been pushed back from the stand. So that's where now the cancel contract is there. I think Adam Cack left. Rick, do you think the 737 needs a remodel? I think it's going to be up there on the list, but I'm not in a rush to ask World Airports to remodel it. It's nice to have some cheaper planes available. 738 is pretty nice, pretty solid seaplane. It can't go everywhere, but it can get to many airports from many airports. So. Yeah, LHR, man. What I do on my main account is I click on this right here, activate all. Since I have 3.8 million silver planes, I do high speed. But if you don't even need to do high speed. Regular speed, what is it? Low, mild. Mild speed is completely fine, but I do high speed because, like, what else am I gonna spend 3.8 million silver planes on, right? I'm gonna spend it on tower managers and on contract capacity, but then I'll activate for 2 hours, right? Now in this case, it usually costs me a lot more when I'm starting from fresh. I got 2 tower managers already active, so it's discounted, and not all of them are gonna be at high either because these are already active on mild. But anyways, it usually costs me about 2,000 silver planes, and I turn all 4 managers on. The tower managers will take care of everything. You know, if I'm going to sleep, then I'm only activating. I'm activating it for 2 hours. I come back in the morning, and then all 164 planes that are in the air are going to be on the ground. I mean, I guess I could do that on stream, right? You know, maybe if we do a 24-hour stream, you get to see what the actual gameplay of that looks like. I remember back in the day when I first started Twitch, you guys would constantly ask me when I'm gonna do a 24-hour stream. I forgot what my answer was to that. Maybe Arctic Swag Gaming might know. You're just using DHL planes and some cargo planes? Yeah, you're at Leipzig, right? I mean, cargo planes are also like the best planes to get you XP. You know, at any airport, not just Leipzig, but at any airport, the cargo planes will give you the most XP than the equivalent passenger plane. So if you have a 752 and a 752F coming from the same airport, the 752F is going to give you more XP. But yeah, that's pretty cool with the cargo planes. That works out nicely. A 24-hour stream is insane. Yeah, I don't know. It would have to be like a subathon. I've seen other streamers do something like that, and that I could support. It's like for every sub that we get, I extend the timer by like 30 minutes or something like that. That I could support. I think that's an idea I could support for sure. Like if you guys, like, we would have to announce it a few months in advance. That way you guys could save your subs, especially you guys who are. I need to turn off my printer. It keeps beeping. But yeah, I would have to announce it in advance. That way you guys who are subscribed already can like save it up. So that way you can use it during the subathon or whatever. And then during the subathon, you know, every subscription on Twitch or on YouTube, well, maybe not YouTube. we'll have to think about it. But every subscription on Twitch for sure would extend the timer by like 20 or 30 minutes. That way, like once the timer's up, sorry guys, we're done. Flamingo will have you streaming for a month. Yeah. But the thing is with the streamathons is that like the stream will, from what I've seen other streamers do, is the stream will go on. The stream will be non-stop, right? So, but I know some streamers will go to sleep. Well, yeah, they'll have to sleep. You have to sleep. It's not healthy to not sleep. But they'll sleep, and then some streamers I've seen pause the timer when they're sleeping, and then other streamers I've seen keep the timer just kind of running a little bit slower. I don't know, and then other people just keep the timer running because they're streaming technically. So I think I would pause the timer, perhaps, but yeah, I would have to talk to everything has to go through the wife. Because then she would have to take care of the babies or the kids, one baby and one kid, and that's not necessarily fair for her. Flamingo will have you streaming for a month. Yeah, that's funny. I've seen other streamers who have kids do it though, but it takes a support system. That's what I'm trying to get at, right? It's not just something I can just say, oh yeah, we're gonna do that right now. I can't just make that decision, Narman wants me to play Muscat. I do have Muscat on this account, but we're actually it's a quick stream today. It's my night streams, I try to make them nice and quick, so that way I don't feel pressure to like play a lot. But at the same time, I can still make some progress on our airports. Every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern, which is, if you don't know what time 11 a.m. Eastern is, look at the time at Washington Airport. That's the same time as me. That's Eastern time. So every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern, I go live. And then recently, though, usually my streams on Saturdays are anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. But recently I've had them like 2 to 3 hours, mainly because we have a newborn, right? My wife gave birth like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So, I just got to adjust to things, make sure, we have a 2-year-old as well, right? So it's like I have to make sure she's doing well, right? Because you got like postpartum, a lot of, not a lot, but some mothers can go through depression and things like that, so I gotta be there for her, make sure she's good. Not that she's depressed, everything's fine here, but like, it's things that as the husband and as the father I have to be responsible for, make sure I'm doing the right thing. I made a vow to her, many years ago, that I was gonna be there for her, and she also made the same vow for me, right? So it's like, all right, that's why we work through these things together. And that's why my streams have been shorter recently on Saturdays. But, we'll get back to normal. And I mean, even with the newborn right now, my wife told me, like, you got to stream on at night. What are you doing at 9 p.m. at night? I'm like, I'm doing work. And she's like, well, work on your stream. I'm like, all right. How to restart an airport? There's no way to restart an airport, unfortunately, or fortunately. I think it's unfortunately. There's no way to restart an airport. TJ, thank you for your appreciation. TJ says, appreciate you having those priorities. Yeah, I always try to share that information too, because it's like not enough men talk about that kind of stuff. And it's important, commitment is important, being there for your family is important. It impacts, just having a father be around for the children makes a huge impact in like their education, in their growth, and even in like their future relationships. All of that is super important. And like, that's why, also like not being divorced makes a nice positive impact on the kids. So it's like, it's not, we made vows, but it's not something that you just like, you made a promise once and you forget about it all forever. No, it's something you have to keep working on. That's also part of the reason why I want to lose weight too, because like, you know, I wasn't happy with the way I looked. So I was like, all right, you know, now with a 2-year-old who's running around the house, and like, you know, sometimes he's running down the driveway and like I need to catch him, you know, before he runs into the street, because most of the times he'll stop and listen to me, but sometimes he, you know, he's got free will, you know. He doesn't know he has free will. Maybe he does, but like, he has free will. He can do it. So I need to be able to step in there and run and catch him, you know. And he doesn't get tired. I mean, he does get tired, but he doesn't know he gets tired. So I just gotta, you know, I want to be there. And then I make this statement too. Is like, when my daughter starts dating, you know, other men, when, you know, 18 years from now, you know, I want them to see a model father, a model husband. You know, I want her boyfriend, like, I want to be the model. Not that I want her to marry her dad, right? But like, this is like what you should be aiming for. I want to set the bar, and you got to beat the bar. In the old world of airports, you can reset an airport. Yeah, they got rid of that at 2.0. I think that's mainly because of like the progress rewards that the airports have. I think I remember seeing, I'm not sure if this was a developer statement or if this was players making assumptions, but it makes sense to me. Like, it would be really hard to reset an airport and somehow not reset your progress rewards, even though your airport's starting at 0, right? So I think that's where a lot of the complexity would come from with restarting an airport, but that's not a possibility right now. The best you can do is start a new account. Carlito says, yeah, Fat, having a family and supporting a wife and kids is important. You're a good man, Fat. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate that. You know, I just try to be a good model. I don't know. Is that the right word? I don't know. There's so many people who are watching, right? Not just like you guys are literally watching me on Twitch or YouTube, but like there's always somebody watching, right? And I'm always trying to do like the right thing. It's like, you know, trying to be a good example, even when the camera is not turned on, you know? Like at work, I was telling this story earlier. Like, even though I leave work, you know, 2 hours early, I'm still making up those 2 hours somewhere else, you know? Even though nobody's looking, nobody is checking my time clock, you know, to see if I'm working those 2 extra hours. Nobody's checking to see if I'm logging in at work at 9 p.m. at night and working until 11 p.m. to get that work done. Nobody's checking, but I know God is checking, but it's like, ultimately, it's like, I got to do the right thing, because like all those things kind of, they trickle down. What's up, Avlix? How you doing? What happened to the American Airlines 747? It's gone, right? I don't know. I think American Airlines doesn't use that plane anymore, I think is what I remember hearing about it. But that is not my expertise. I rarely play with regular airlines in the game. I don't do Woapedia hunt. You know, I'm like rank 1000 in the Woapedia page, and that's just because from normal gameplay. It's not, if I were to actually hunt, I'd probably be number like 10, because all the other rankings I'm easily top 100, usually top 10, actually top 25. Dan in Vermont, what's up, bro? Says a good work ethic will take you a long way in life. That's true. But it can be hard, right? It can be hard because sometimes it's like you don't. How do I put this? It can be hard when you're putting in so much work and effort, and like nobody recognizes it, but you still got to do it anyways. That's the hard part. It's called being raised right and having good values. Yeah, that's what I got to do. That's now I gotta pass that on to the next, you know, the next in line, the next with my name. Nice turtle A388s. Where are they? They're over here, right? Nope, that's triangles. That's Expo. That's not an A388. That's not a turtle. Where's the turtle? That's Expo. There it is. Oh no. I lost it. Over here. Meet Grave in a Bronze Realm. I wish they could add other cargo airport. I think the next cargo airport's going to come out when there's like a cargo rework, I think is what they were talking about. And I'm not sure if Anchorage is going to be like the next cargo airport or not, but it was mentioned right before they announced generic airports. So I don't know if it's related, right? If Anchorage is just going to be a generic airport that we're going to have access to, or if Anchorage is going to be an airport in the game and not a generic airport. We really haven't seen much about generic airports since then either. So, I mean, there's a lot of question marks that we have when it comes to, you know, some of the updates with World of Airports. Like, we still have question marks about alliances, but there's going to be custom, there's going to be player liveries, like custom liveries that we can make ourselves as players, which also was kind of mentioned as an alliance feature. So I think they're building up a lot of these features like in small pieces to then put it all together into a big package called alliances or called generic airports. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. Rooting for December for Anchorage, that would be pretty cool. Because I wouldn't expect it for the next airport, which would be like September, October. So like December, January could be like the next, the second airport, after the following airport. All right, we made some good progress here. We didn't make a ton of progress, but we did finish level 80, which is nice. We finished level 80, so now we only have one more level to go here at LHR. But the bad news is we got almost 1,000. We got a little bit less than 1,000 XP to go for the next level. And then when I was looking at the contracts, there's not a ton of contracts that are at 9 out of 10. We do have a few that are at like 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, but not a lot at 9 out of 10. But I mean, that's also, that's going to happen because I don't play every day, right? If I were to play this account every single day, we would see a lot more progress happening. Some of these planes would be here every single day, because I know some of these players are playing those airports every single day, and we could get those planes, no problem. Actually, I should probably message Hammy, be like, yo, Hammy, we got a plane at 9 out of 10 at your Bari. But that's another thing too, is like sometimes some of these planes are like airports that like people don't necessarily actively play every single day, which is no problem, because I don't play this account every day. But that's why we're going to do more night streams, because the best way to make progress in World of Airports is by playing the game, right? Now, you don't have to play for 2 hours like I did tonight. You could just simply play for an hour, or keep the game on and do something else while you're playing the game. Usually I'm watching YouTube videos, or I'm playing Destiny 2 or RuneScape or another game. Sometimes I'm working while playing World of Airports. Tower managers will help with that, but like even just 30 minutes will help those planes come in and come out, so that way you can get to 10 out of 10 and get those rewards and get those levels. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm actually going through the list really quickly, and I'm looking for any contracts that are at 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, or 9 out of 10. That way I could heart them, because I think I missed a few, but I'm hearting them so that way when I come into this airport next time, they will be the first ones to land, because I always have the prefer favorited airplanes button turned on. So I like to just have those 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 9 out of 10 airplanes landing first, because we're really close to finishing, right? So we just quickly went through the list. I skipped over the first few names, so I'll have to check that list probably when I get back on next time. But so far everything's looking great. You know, just a few contracts, some players I know that are that quit the game too, and then some players, you know, airplanes I haven't seen in a while either. But ultimately, it was a great night, guys. I want to thank you all. This is it, by the way. This is my conclusion. I want to thank you all for joining me today. I really had a great time. As I mentioned, wouldn't be anything without you guys, right? Phat Airlines for 4 years, 1,000 followers hit today on Twitch. How many do we have on YouTube? Hold on, let's see how many subscribers do we have on YouTube. I haven't checked in a while. We got 7,634 subscribers on YouTube, which is pretty fantastic. You know, I never thought I would be like over 5,000, but I am happy to be there, and I'm happy, you know, to go back to our roots coming soon. Where we're gonna have more tutorial videos. We're gonna explain more about World of Airports. We're gonna keep streaming. We're gonna keep, you know, making some short videos on streaming too. But yeah, thank you all for being here. I might see if we could do another night stream sometime this week. I'm not sure, but VIPs, I'll try to post it maybe like an hour before I go live or something like that. Because what I do is I know I'm gonna go live, then I do a workout, and then I prepare for stream, and then I go live. So my workout typically is about 30 minutes, because you know I gotta lose weight, I gotta look good. But yeah. Avlix wonders when an airport in Africa gets added to the game. That's probably, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the next airport. Do you think we need an American Airlines hub airport and a Delta Airlines hub airport? That's a pretty cool idea, JetBlue. I feel like there would be too many American, like United States airports. But I think that's where like generic airports will have a role. Because you know, if many people play a generic airport located at an American Airlines hub, then it's more likely that World of Airports could add that airport into the game as a fully fledged airport. So I guess we could see, you know, generic airports are really going to change the way airports are added into the game. But yeah, peace out, Avlix. Peace out, Rick Rashid, hockey fan. Thanks for being here. Raptor X, thanks for being here. TK, always nice to see you, man. Who else? Tony Airways. Tony, you're still here? Nice, man. Thank you for being here. Carlitos, thank you for all your donations today. I appreciate that. And I'm gonna I know you wanted some planes, but I don't remember your username. So do me a favor, send me a message on Discord, and I'll try to send you a plane. All right, Carlitos. Cairo would be nice, Rick. Miami would be a cool one, but Miami might be too close to St. Martin. We'll see. Yo, Wizzy, you're here too? Nice to see you, man. Always nice to see you, Wizzy. TJ's here. TJ, peace out, man. JetBlue, thank you for your questions, bro. I appreciate it, and you have a great night. But I think that's everybody who's said goodbye in the chat. And all you guys who are lurking, I appreciate you guys too. For real, I'm usually a lurker when I'm watching streamers. So I appreciate you guys lurking. I appreciate you guys joining. I appreciate you guys chatting. I just have so much appreciation. And thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, guys. Yep, I'm out too, man. Avlix, you have a great night. Peace out, everybody. Have a great night. Have a great day. And I will see you later. If not, Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Peace.